Hey guys, very good morning. It's 16th day of reading challenge of 91 days, and it's been very great that we have been reading for 16 days. Like today is 16th day, and it's really awesome when you are working on yourself and you are showing off every day. You are like completing everyday challenge, then after that you feel very good. Besides that, you are reflecting on your past experience in the sense whatever videos or live streamings I have on my YouTube channel, like I had in YouTube my channel have actually. Whenever I see them and if I feel something, there should be something improved. So I'm improving myself likewise. So it's very awesome when you are showing every day yourself. You are giving time to your challenge. And just because of something, you're not just giving excuses that just because of these you didn't do these, or you were not able to do perform this particular challenge, blah 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 things. But only thing that is that you are just working, and you are showing yourself. You are like completing each and every day, and when you see yourself doing it every day, you feel very good about yourself. You feel accomplishment. You feel very confidence about yourself that no matter what it is you are going to do, no matter. Like today what happened, I waked up very late. It was late, very late, but I somehow managed. I very fastly, not fast, very quickly I did my thing and came here. As you can see, my eyes, it's very red, I guess because of my sleep. Last night I was working, I didn't sleep like very well. So just because of that, like my eyes is looking red. I'm not saying that you have to work a lot, you have to do the things. It's not like that. But what you can do, like if you are taking a challenge, you are like if you are committing, then for that commit you are being true. And if you are showing, if you are doing every day, then your brain feels very good about yourself. I'm working because I have to work. Just because of that, otherwise like I would have also slept like 7 8. I would also like to sleep 8 hours, but it's not like that. Okay, you shouldn't sleep and you should work. It's not like that, because work is very sleep is very important thing that we have to have. Never miss it, because it's good to sleeping. It's good, you are enjoying your life by sleeping in the sense. Now when you sleep and you like, might be you have ever felt this feeling when you are sleeping and it feels good, like sleeping. Just experience that feeling as well. It's very good. Basically what I'm trying to say here is that I didn't sleep just because of my work. It's not like that. Yeah, I have to just work, but it was like that. Okay, there were some specific things that I have to complete, so I had to complete. So just because of that, I was working. Besides that, I waked up myself very early in the morning, not very early, late in the morning, but just because of this commitment, I'm coming here and reading, because it's my challenge. If I'm not gonna do it, who is gonna do it? I'm the only one, because I have taken the challenge. And if you complete your challenge, no matter what it is, it makes you feel very good. So just go and take a challenge, record yourself so that you can record your progress. Because whenever we see ourselves growing, like there should be some tracker which can show us that, see, you are growing from here to here. Like I can see my growth, not a growth actually, the track, that it was 15th day yesterday that I have completed. Now it's 16th day that I have to complete, and I'm coming here and sitting and talking to you and completing my challenge. That is how it works, and it is working actually. So it's very awesome when you complete each and every day and you show up every day. It's just like, oh yeah, that's amazing. Let me read. Now let's read the whole paragraph again, because yesterday we read somewhere else, and one of the person joined yesterday who was suggesting that if I'm going to explain the thing while reading, then also it will be very damn good, because people will understand. And there one more feedback that whenever I read, people don't understand what I am reading when they don't see on exact line, so they have to go and see on exact line. So I'll try to read as much as possible so that everybody can understand. It's not like that, okay, I just have to read very fast. It's my, like, I'm habitual to reading because I've been reading for a long time, and just because of that I read so fast. So because of that fastness, people don't understand it, and you might have noticed that I don't say like word, might be because I didn't notice in myself right now. So anyway, that's awesome. Again, it's the 16th day of our challenge, and we have completed our 15 days, and it's been very great. Today also it's great. It's awesome. Let's grow together. Let's read together. Let's run together. Learn. So let me start my reading. Our reading, not a my. So I'm gonna start it. Unpleasant experiences are part of life and sometimes have a value. But due to the negativity bias, it's easy for unpleasant experiences to get stored in your brain as negative material, which has negative consequences for you and often others. When negative material is activated, typically from implicit memory stores, it is not retrieved as a unit from storage but rather is reconstructed in a dynamic process. Once it comes into consciousness, it starts associating with whatever else is present in awareness. Then, when it's no longer activated, it gets reconsolidated back into memory, also in a dynamic process. The dynamic nature of memory reconstruction and reconsolidation gives you two good methods for changing negative material. First, when you are aware of prominent positive material alongside the negative, what is positive can soothe, compensate for, sometimes eventually override the negative. Second, during the window of reconsolidation, if you bring to mind a neutral trigger associated with the negative material while feeling only neutral or positive, this can disrupt the reconsolidation process and gradually erase the association between the neutral trigger and the negative material. To do the fourth step of heal, linking positive and negative material, you need to be able to hold both positive and negative in awareness while keeping the positive more prominent and not getting hijacked by the negative. Once you have identified key positive experiences for yourself, you can use the fourth step for old pain or other issues. Look for opportunities to have these good experiences, and once they are activated, help them connect with the negative material as an antidote. You can also use the fourth step in situations that start with a negative experience. First, be with the difficult experience, witnessing it with self-compassion. Second, when it feels right, try to let it go. Third, call up an appropriate positive experience and link it with the original negative material. Connect positive experiences to negative situations, either ones you are in or one you imagine. Over time, this could help you be more comfortable and capable in this situation. So we have started our chapter 9. Our chapter 9, good uses. Now that we have explored the fourth heal steps of taking in the good, let's consider how you can use this practice in different situations and with different issues. Letting good a lesson land every day life holds many opportunities to learn something important and shift a bit as a result. Recently, my wife has been telling me I sometimes make her wait, whether it's to live together in the car or to start a TV program we want to see. After getting through my personal irk go away and being caught and criticized, I know that I don't really want to keep her waiting. There is one more thing that I read too much fast. I noticed, and there are some of the people who told me that you read fast when we are not seeing sentences, then we are not getting what I am speaking of or why I'm reading, what I am reading, not why. So I just tried for now that let's read slowly, but somehow like I don't know, like I'm not getting it, but I'll try reading in my way. I'll try to make it good, and let's see how it happens or how it goes in our live streaming. After that, like I'll see this video tomorrow. It's a 16th day video that I'm going to see, and will like understand if I have to really change something or not. So I have been encouraging a feeling of consideration for her inside myself about this issue, giving myself over to this feeling, so it will carry me along to the living room the next time we are going to watch some show. More formally, you could be doing a structured activity such as human resources training, prayer, meditation, journaling, yoga, mindfulness workshop, or psychotherapy. While you are doing this activity, when something really touches you and seems important, take the time to take it in. When the activity ends, use a few moments to let whatever was especially nourishing settle into you and stick to your mental ribs. You can apply the steps of taking in the good to learning any new skill, from using a stick shift to staying cool when a teenager gets hot. The stronger the sensation and emotions related to the skill, and the more you replay the sense of it in your mind, the greater its memory trace will generally be, and faster you will learn it. Wanting what's good for you. Now, one key to good life is learning to want the things that are good for you that honestly you don't particularly want. For example, I don't want to slog uphill on my treadmill for half an hour, but it's good for me. At work, a person may not naturally want to speak in public, but it could further his or her career to do so. Maybe you sort of want to do something such as practice the piano daily, but you don't stick with it. Sure, you could grit your teeth and exercise willpower, but this takes deliberate effort that's draining and hard to sustain. Plus, some people naturally have a genetic variation that produces less effective dopamine receptors, so they need a greater sense of reward to avoid running out of motivational gas. On the other hand, if you take in rewarding experience related to the wants you would like to encourage, this will make your brain lean in that direction, like the proverbial donkey trying to get the carrot. Using the piano as an example, when you think about playing it, call up a sense of enjoyment and other good feeling about it. While playing, keep refocusing attention on what's pleasant or fun, and help this experience sink in. Right after playing, take in feeling of satisfaction, congratulation, aesthetic pleasure, worth, and happiness. And if you can be aware of wanting to play the piano while at the same time being aware of the rewards of playing it. This way, the wanting and the rewards will start associating together. We can link this to our reading challenge. While we read, we feel sense of accomplishment, sense of commitment in the sense whatever we commit, we do that. We are very strict to our challenges and all those things. So here whatever it is explained related to piano, we can link or correlate it with our reading challenge. When we read, we feel like we enjoy it. We feel like yes, we are showing in the sense we are doing the things that we really wanted to. Besides that, when we complete it, then we feel very good about it because we have completed our 2 hour session of reading, and it's our challenge. And we when we think or when we feel it, then it feels very good. We in the sense right now I'm feeling I like if you are reading with me, if you are watching me, if you are also doing some challenges, after doing that challenge and after showing up every day, you will feel yes you have completed, and you will feel sense of accomplishment, of feeling. And it's a very different feeling. When you are going to feel these, you will continue to do it again and again. But in order to feel it, you need to track your progress, not progress but track your days. I can say days in the sense you see yourself how much you are doing. Let's say you did 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, when it's getting piled up, let's say it's 20th day, then you'll feel more accomplishment because it's been a long that you have been doing the same challenge again and again, and you are not you didn't skip any day. That's very awesome and we feel very good about it. So it's just like that, you are doing something and you are completing and you are feeling like you are feeling it good. You are taking its experience, you are thinking about it, you are enjoying the process with its reward, and it is making very much that you are trying to do it again and again just because of this experience. In this experience, while wanting, you are getting reward as well. So it's kind of yes, you are doing and you are getting the reward, and yeah, you are going to do it again and again because your brain likes it. And if your brain likes it, your brain tend to do it again and again. That is what happening right now with me. These methods are also helpful if you are being caught by a problematic desire such as drugs, alcohol, overeating, or gambling and are trying to take a higher road. The powerful rewards of the low road make it hard to appreciate the often milder but more wholesome rewards of the high road. Now, for example, if you give a young child so lots of candy, apples stopped tasting sweet. So along with the other resources, example, being honest about your issue with a close friend, therapy, use taking in the good to intensify the rewards and thus the attraction of the high road. Now, suppose you are trying to drink moderately or not at all when out to dinner with friends. Notice how you feel just fine with only one glass of wine. You see how good it feels to have an unclouded mind. You feel a sense of worth in staying true to your purpose. Notice any positive reaction from others and let yourself feel respected. So here I also notice one thing which is literally correlating to me, like it's related, not related, correlated to me. It is correlating to me. So when I read, when I completing my challenges, some of the people giving me some feedback, some appreciation that oh, you are very like consistent person, you are sticking to your challenges or the things that you are doing. Yeah, it's very awesome when we see you doing like this. We also feel motivated because you are regularly or consistently doing the things, doing challenges, and you are showing up yourself every day. So it just very motivating, and they just motivate me. Yeah, it makes me more feel confident, make me feel more motivated. And the same thing here is being said by author that there is one person, if let's say if someone goes out to dinner and they control themselves to drink wine, then they feel very not confident but a sense of not accomplishment, but the feeling of that they haven't drink more than that. Whatever they committed to themselves or told themselves, then after that they feel that they were true to themselves, and it makes them feel good about it. So it's just like, yes, if you are accomplishing or if you are being true to yourself, then definitely you feel good about it and you try to do it again and again. It's just cycle of brain, so try to do it you as well. When you wake in the morning, feel glad about stopping at one drink. I have heard it said that wisdom is choosing a greater happiness over a lesser one. Over time, repeatedly internalizing the rich experiences of the rewards of the greater happiness will gradually help tilt your brain toward it and away from the laser one. If you want, you can remind yourself to take in the good with simple checklists like the one that follows. Hardwiring your happiness. Now fill in the column headings with whatever experiences you want to take in, such as those that would help you, want what is good for you, or any other that are important for you. Examples include strength, relaxation, enthusiasm, feeling, cared about, and love. Now I felt the column headings blank, so you can make copies of the table and then adapt it to your own needs. Now feel free to share or use this table with others. Example: participants in a training at work, children. Hardwiring your happiness. Now fill in the column headings with the experiences you would like to take in. Now you could make a copy of this table with blank column headings. Print a few and then add headings as you like. In the column below, mark each day that you did the practice. You can add marks if you did it more than once. A slice of pie. In life, we get preoccupied with conditions, situations, and events, circumstances such as having money, getting to work on time, or being praised. But really, the point of these circumstances is what they help us experience. Now, this fact gives us very useful the options when we do not have the circumstances we want. Let's say you want to have a romantic partner, a circumstance, but don't have one. Now, I'm not trying to minimize the importance of this kind of relationship or the pain of not having one, but there could be other ways to have at least some of the experiences you would get from a romantic relationship, such as fun, affection, security, physical pleasure, and a friendship. If a romantic partner would make you feel loved, how else could you have some of this experience? The experience of being loved by a friend, parent, or child has many aspects of the experience of romantic love. It's not everything you want, but it's not nothing. It's a chance to feel loved in some ways. If you can't have the whole pie, at least eat a slice of it. Unfortunately, many people turn away from opportunities to have the element of the experience they long for because it isn't everything they want. They fear that eating a slice will somehow stop them from ever getting the whole pie. But this just isn't true. Why would taking in respect from someone at work, or warmth from friends, or love from a parent block a person from getting a romantic partner? In fact, taking in the slices that are available often moves people forward toward eventually getting the whole pie. People also think that eating a slice will mean letting others off the hook who should have given them the whole pie in the past but didn't, and maybe gave them no pie at all. Yes, those parents, teachers, siblings, classmates, lovers, or life partners really should have delivered the whole pie. I don't mean my pie metaphor or trivialize. Where I was reading. Turn away from opportunity experience of romantic love. It's not everything you want, but it's not nothing. It's chance to feel loved in some ways. If you can't have the whole pie, at least eat a slice of it. Unfortunately, many people turn away from opportunity to have lived the experience they love for because it isn't everything they want. They fear that eating a slice will somehow stop them from ever getting the whole pie. But this just isn't true. Why would taking in respect from someone at work and warmth from friends or love from a parent block a person from getting a romantic partner? In fact, taking in the slice that are available often moves people forward toward eventually getting the whole pie. People also think that eating a slice will mean letting others off the hook who should have given them the whole pie in the past but didn't, and maybe give them no pie at all. Yes, those parents, teachers, siblings, classmates, lovers, or life partners really should have delivered the whole pie. Now, I don't mean my pie metaphor to trivialize the loss, pain, even abuse that may have happened. If it was bad, it really was bad. If anything, in my experience, most people downplay the bad things that have happened in their lives, especially when they were young, and how much it hurt. But turning down slices of the pie that are available reminds me of the saying in Alcoholics Anonymous that resentment is like taking poison and waiting for others to die. What's more important, feeling aggrieved and reproachful about the past or feeling loved in the present? Plus, you can certainly be clear about how others hurts you while also giving yourself at least some of the experience that would feed your heart. Filling the hole in your heart. I did a lot of dandelions as a kid and learned that if you didn't get the tip of the root, the weed grew back. In the same way, it really helps for your key antidote experiences to sink down into and get the youngest deepest layers of your issues. Now, some fortunate people had very big benign childhood, but in my experience many more people had a rocky one. In terms of the avoiding harm system, perhaps you felt unsafe as a child, unprotected. Unfortunately, there is one thing happened that I didn't share my screen where I'm reading, and it's been like 27 minutes that I've been reading only myself. But no one joined, and might be some people will see it, but like it's been 27 minutes, and we didn't share. So that was my mistake. I didn't see in a hurry, but it's okay. Sometimes you feel some kind of problems, you have to face that. If you want this reading again this book, Hardwiring Happiness, like I'm seeing there are lots of people who don't see, like no one is there in my current live streaming, but even I'm performing it because I have committed to myself, and I don't know if in future people are gonna watch it or not. But even though whatever the thing is here that I really want to improve, that I'm improving just because of this. That is why I'm doing it every day. I'm gonna do it for 91 days because it's my commit to myself, to you, to everybody, and I am showing up every day. So right now, like what happened, like right now what happened, the screen was not visible, but I shared it. When I noticed that the screen is not visible, then I'm like, oh man. Yeah, then I felt it. Oh man, screen is now shared. Now let's share screen. I shared the screen. If you're watching it, might be like this video is not going to go anyway. Like I'm not sure about it, but anyway, we will continue reading. If you want hardwiring happiness again, me to read it, then definitely I'm gonna read it in a good way. Then now, but for now we have to start continuing. I'm just seeing myself how I am like doing the thing. I have eaten a lot of dandelions as a kid and learned that if you didn't get the tip of the root, the weed grew back in the same way. It really helps for your key antidote experience to sink down into and get at the youngest, deepest layer of your issues. Some fortunate people had a very big benign childhood, but in my experience, many more people had a rocky one. In terms of the avoiding harm system, perhaps you felt unsafe as a child, protected with fears or phobias. Perhaps you were picked on or even assaulted in the approaching reward system. You could have suffered a loss or not had the resources you need to succeed in school. In terms of the attaching to others system, you might have been put down a lot by an older brother or sister. It felt like an outsider, been betrayed and humiliated by your first boyfriend or girlfriend, or been ostracized because of your appearance, ethnicity, or social class. Many people are embarrassed about still carrying the past. They may ask, why haven't I gotten over this by now? What's wrong with me? But the brain is designed to be continually remolded by experiences in ways that lasts. If we can be changed for the better by life, we must also be changeable for the worse. In fact, the brain's negativity bias makes us especially changeable by negative experiences. Your brain is also designed to hyper learn during childhood. So issues from that time, such as abuse, neglect, humiliation, bullying, discrimination, harsh scolding, poverty, or financial hardship, burdensome secrets, creepy experiences, exclusion, family tension, injuries, disabilities, and illness casts a long shadow. Even relatively moderate things add up, like feeling a little awkward socially. Your temperament affects how events land on you. So what may have been unpleasant but tolerable for some else could have been very hurtful to you. Naturally, we are impacted by the bad things that happened when we were young and by the good things that didn't. Your personal history matters. It has consequences. It can leave you with a hole in your heart. One or more key antidote experience, then try to repeatedly have and one or more key antidote experience, then try to repeatedly have and take in these experiences. You are not trying to deny the past or resist painful feelings in the present. You are simply resourcing yourself to deal with what you can and to bear what you can't. Over time, you can gradually give yourself some and perhaps even most of what you should have been given when you were young. This is what I did for myself in the story that began this book, as I took in experiences of being included and valued to fill my own hole in the heart. Lifting a blue mood. People in my family, as well as many of my clients, have been burdened by depression, which is painfully common. Many psychological approaches, example, psychotherapy books for this dysthymic disorder, chronic blues, and for mild to moderate depression include the encouragement of a sense of agency rather than entrapment and helplessness, enjoyable and rewarding activities, good times with friends, self-compassion, and replacing catastrophizing are critical thoughts with realistic and supportive ones. Therefore, using the heal step to heighten the impact of this intervention can be helpful and more generally can bring more good into your life and into brain. In general, taking in the good should not be used with severe depression. in which it's very hard, if not impossible, to create a positive experience. Trying to do this yourself or asking others to do so. Let me plug my charger. Hmm. Such as a client, if you are a therapist, would only be frustrating or worse. The potential exception involves experience of simple physical pleasure, such as eating something sweet or warming up when chilled. Even if someone is severely depressed, there will still likely be some basic capacity for at least brief experiences of pleasure applied to physical pleasure. The methods for enriching and observing experiences, chapter 7, now might help a severely depressed person and gradually recover more capacity for enjoyment. Recovering from trauma, whether it was a car accident, mugging, rape, injury, or childhood abuse, any trauma involves an incapacity to stop a terrible thing from happening. Of course, this incapacity is not the fault of the person experiencing the trauma. Consequently, the aspect of treating and recovering from trauma is to nurture greater capacities, greater strengths inside that person. In this general way, while working with the therapist or on your own, taking in the good way, good may be useful. For example, a central aspect of trauma is an entrapment, immobilization, and helplessness. And the person cannot escape the awfulness. So it might help to take in experience of agency. This phase in chapter 10 of being able, if only inside the mind, to make something happen. Another common feature of trauma is being intimidated from communicating fully and firmly. So taking in experience of positiveness. This page in chapter 10 could be useful, but be careful. Simply knowing that a positive experience is an intended resource for dealing with the trauma can remind a person of the trauma and then reactivate it. First of all, do no harm. Let me turn on my charger. I'm really sorry for interruption, because if I'm not gonna plug charger, might be my laptop will dead. Trauma is like a black hole that can suck you in if you are not careful, and getting sucked in, experiencing the trauma, can be a real traumatization. Since the fourth step of taking in the good brings negative material into awareness. I recommend not using this step on your own with the central experience of the trauma itself. Though it would be beneficial to use it with a skilled therapist. Many therapists for trauma link positive and negative material. But you might be able to use the fourth step by yourself with issues around the edges, as it were, of the trauma. For example, a person could take in self-compassion. In this page, in chapter 10, linked to the pain of being let down by failed protectors, such as caregivers who did not pick up on the signs of child abuse and stop it. Now, for more about treating and recovering from trauma, see the work of Judy Herman, Peter Levin, Bert Ogen, and Basil van der Kolk, feeding relationships, whether at home or at work or in other setting. A relationship is like tapestry. The busyness and inevitable aggravations of daily life continually tear at its threads. If both people don't keep registering good experiences in the relationship, its fabric will fray and may eventually tear apart. I don't mean ignoring real problems, but rather also paying attention to the good qualities in the other person, to what there is to like, and to the being behind his or her eyes. The seemingly little things are often the most touching. As this woman writes, each morning I take a moment to feel for grateful for my husband. I remember things I appreciate about him, like how he decorates a salad with little pepper rings and carrot curls. He isn't a cook, but he so wants to do something to please me. I smile and take in the feelings of a husband who loves me. When my mind goes to the annoyances, like how he doesn't put his dirty clothes in the hamper but has to put them on the floor next to it. I soon come back to how it feels when he does want to please. And this little practice of appreciating my husband has truly changed my life and my marriage. Appreciating the good aspects of relationship will feed your heart, help you feel good, and put hassles and irritations in perspective. Plus, the other person will probably treat you better, since he or she will feel more seen and appreciated. If you do need to mend a relationship, it's especially important to take in positive experiences that happen in it. Otherwise, staying fixated on the bad parts of a relationship and overlooking or minimizing the good ones feels bad for you. Plus, it is disheartening to the other person and doesn't encourage continued efforts in a positive direction. And if you like, you could ask the other person to be more aware of positive experiences with you and more open to letting them in. Helping others. Something it might be useful to help others to take in the good, especially if you are a healthcare professional, manager, human resources trainer, yoga instructor, fitness trainer, mindfulness teacher, executive coach, or psychotherapist. At www.rickhansen.net you can get many freely offered resources for doing this. Now, see the section on this page for using the heal steps with children. As a parent or teacher, you can use taking in the good with others in one or more of the four ways. It's possible to offer a method to anyone. First, you could do it implicitly without drawing attention to it, such as by bringing someone's attention back to a well-earned acknowledgement if he but leave it up to the other person whether he or she uses it. Third, you could explicitly take the other person through the steps of taking in the good, leaving off the last step if appropriate. Fourth, you could encourage the person to do it on his or her own and follow up to see what happened. I have known many people who responded very well to taking in the good, both in general and for a particular issue. Now, suppose you are a manager who wants to encourage more creativity in an employee. Now, what strengths inside would promote creativity? One might be feeling valued by others rather than anxious about making mistakes. So you could ask the person to look for times when he or she is in fact appreciated and then to take in this experience. Or suppose you are a therapist working with someone raised by emotionally distant parents. What feeling inside would make a big difference for this person? Let's say that it's feeling special. You could suggest that the person look for times these days or in the past when someone cherished, prized, or wanted him or her, and then take in these experiences. Taking in the good can improve the results of formal programs such as mindfulness training, psychotherapy, as well as informal efforts to help others become a healthier and happier. The return or investment in positive mental state grows much higher as more of these passing experiences become turned into enduring neural structure. Healing children. Now have used taking in the good with young people in therapy and also spoken with parents and teachers who have used it with their own children or students. As with an adult, there are four ways to offer the heal steps to a child while naturally adapting them to the child's age and situations. First, you can guide a child through the steps of taking in the good without drawing explicit attention to them. You either encourage a positive experience in the first place, or if one is already happening, you try to keep it going. Sometimes with encouragement to let it sink in. Suppose you are helping a toddler or preschooler build up a stronger sense inside of being soothed, so that he or she feels better and fusses less. When the child does feel soothed, you can take 10 or more seconds to murmur things like, yes, you are feeling better, it's nice to feel good, yes, you see it feels better, you are feeling good inside. Or suppose your sixth grader has been thinking he or she is unpopular, hearing that your child enjoyed sitting with some other kids at lunch. You could draw him or her out about what felt good about it, not playing therapist or getting into your anxieties about your child's social issues, not being simply an interested listener. As appropriate, offer words for the experiences or mirror back to your child what he or she is saying to help keep attention with the good feelings and not rush on from them to something else. If it feels right, you might mention that feeling liked could go down into any places inside that have felt bad, drawing your child into the fourth step of heal. You can also use this approach with the character qualities you are encouraging. Suppose you are trying to help an older child become less possessive about ties with a younger sibling. When a younger brother or sister returns a toy and it's unbroken, you could help the relief sink in as well as your appreciation of your older child's generosity. Second, you could name the four steps, but leave it up to the child whether he or she uses them. I find this approach especially helpful with teenager or other children who place a premium on being independent. Since taking in the good is quick and usually feels good, children like it. It's straightforward to teach, give examples, and share your own experience with it. You could talk with the child about possible times that he or she could take in the good, such as when another child is nice or when the child succeeds at a task. With children roughly 6 and older, I find it helpful to say a few words about the brain being like Velcro for the bad, but Teflon for the good. The child immediately gets that this is true and doesn't want that bad stuff getting stuck to his or her brain. As appropriate, I'll say that the brain is controlling the child and pushing him or her around, which no child likes. No child likes, but that the child can take charge of it if he or she wants to. Third, you could draw children through the steps in an explicit way, much as we teach children to read. We can teach inner skills of emotional intelligence, including taking in the good. If we value inner skills, which have great benefit over the lifespan, then we can ask children to learn them much as we can ask them to learn the multiplication table. For example, putting a child to bed. You could take a minute or more to review the day or think about good things in order for the child to have a good experience. Perhaps your son or daughter learned something new or played well in saucer, or perhaps your child knows that the grandmother loves him or her. Once the positive experience is activated, your You could suggest that your child enrich it by letting it become big and strong and absorb it like putting a jewel in the treasure chest of the heart. You might also suggest that your child link this good experience with any sadness or hurt inside so that the good feelings gradually replace any bad ones like flowers pushing out weeds. In a classroom you could use a minute at the beginning of the day to go through the first three steps of taking in the good in order to encourage children to find some excitement about learning new things and then to take this in, or use another minute at the end of the day to feel and take in a sense of accomplishment. I see the camera is very blurry, I don't know why. Overall, an easygoing and matter-of-fact approach works best. Children often do the heal step faster than adults, so 5 or 10 seconds at a time could be plenty. Young people feel things keenly but often don't have words for their experiences, so asking a child to describe them could put the child. Fourth, you could ask children to use the heel step on their own, perhaps in a certain situation, such as when other kids are nice or when a task is done successfully, then follow up as appropriate. After a recess in school or at the end of the day at home, you could ask a child if he or she has taken in the good. If the child has, you could ask how it felt. If the child hasn't, you could explore why not. Of course, kids don't like being interrogated any more than adults do, and a little gentle inquiry goes a long way. Overall, an easygoing and matter-of-fact approach works best. Children often do the heal steps faster than adults, so 5 or 10 seconds at a time could be plenty. Young people feel things keenly but often don't have words for their experiences, so asking a child to describe them could put the child on the spot and turn him her off to taking in the good. It's fine to gently offer words yourself for what the child may be feeling. If you have an idea about the key experiences that the child needs, such as feeling successful at something, anything to overcome a sense of failure and inadequacy in school, then you can look for natural opportunities for the child to take in these experiences. Now take a look at table 5 in the previous chapter for potential antidote experience that might help your child the most. While all young people gain from taking in the good, for some it is particularly helpful. Children are anxious or rigid, tend to overlook the good news of life, plus need to build up inner strength such as feeling safe and determined. Children who are spirited or considered to have attention deficit or a hyperactivity disorder, a highly distractible, impulsive, or simulation seeking, tend to move on so quickly that even good experiences don't have time to sink in, plus they need to build up more self-control. Additionally, many of these spirited or ADHD children have a genetic variation that produces less effective dopamine receptors, so they need more repeated experiences of rewards to stay focused on tasks. Kids who are grappling with problems or challenges such as a learning disability or a death in the family benefit from taking in the key experiences aimed at their needs, such as feeling loved by others even though a beloved grandparents has passed away. Most teenagers are interested in themselves and unfortunately have many negative experiences, so I have found that they can be pretty motivated to take in the good, especially related to key experiences of feeling attractive and liked. Ask yourself what experiences might have made a difference for you as a child. Now let this knowledge plus your intuition guide you in helping the children in your life to have and take in the experiences that will make a difference for them. Handling blocks. When you try to take in the good, sometimes you bump into a block, such as distracting thoughts. Blocks are common. They are not bad or wrong, but they do get in the way. What works is to explore them with self acceptance and see what you can learn about yourself. One valuable aspect of taking in the good is that it often reveals other issues, such as an underlying reluctance to let yourself feel good. Then you can address these issues with the suggestion below. With practice and time, blocks usually fade away. Blocks do any inner practice. Distractibility, focus on the stimulating aspects of positive experiences, which will keep your attention engaged with them, just not in touch with your body or your feelings. Explore and get used to simple pleasant sensations, such as the taste of pancakes with syrup, the feeling of warm water on your hands, or the ease in exhaling uncomfortable tuning into your own experience. Now put yourself in a safe setting and remind yourself that you don't have to be externally vigilant. Now look around for objects or people that give you comfort and a sense of protection. Now bring to mind what it feels like to be with someone who cares about you. Now remember that you can shift your attention away from your experience at any time you want. Be aware of something pleasant in your experience, such as a pretty sight or enjoyable sound, and notice again and again that continuing to be aware of it. It is alright for you that nothing bad is happening to you. Over analyzing, pulling out of the experience. Bring attention back into your body and emotions. For example, follow one breath from beginning to end, or gently name what you are feeling to yourself. Hmm. It's hard to receive, including a good experience, inhale and exhale, and a sense that it's okay to let something in. Pick a simple positive emotion such as relief or gladness, open to it and let it come into your mind, and recognize what you are still fine. Concern that you will lose your edge in business or life if you no longer feel hungry. Realize that building up inner resources such as confidence and happiness can only aid your success. Now, on a foundation of well-being, you can still be very determined and ambitious. Additionally, taking in the good trains your mind to see the whole picture, which could help you spot more opportunities. Fear that you'll lower your guard if you feel better, and that's when people get whacked. Remind yourself that you can still be watchful while also feeling good. Focus on building up inner strengths such as determination, resilience, confidence, and a feeling cared about, so you can become less worried about lowering your guard. Belief that seeking to feel good is selfish, vain, or sinful, or that it's disloyal or unfair to those who suffer, or that you don't deserve it. It's moral to seek the welfare of all beings, and all beings includes the one wearing your name tag. You matter too. Increasing your happiness will not increase the suffering of others, nor will increase your suffering make them happier. In fact, developing your inner strengths, including peace, contentment, and love, will provide you with more for others. Taking in praise or sense of accomplishment won't make you conceited. As people feel fuller inside, they are less likely to get puffed up or arrogant. Fear that if you let yourself feel good, you will want more but be disappointed. Recognize that you feel good today. There is a good chance you will also feel good tomorrow and does not get disappointed. Even if you do become disappointed, know that this will be unpleasant but not overwhelming. But the risk of disappointment in perspective, what's greater? The cost of occasional disappointment or the benefit of feeling good and building up strength inside. As a woman, you have been socialized to make others happy, not yourself. Your needs and wants have the same standing as theirs, and if you want to care for others, you have to nurture yourself. As a man, you have been socialized to be stoic and not care about your experience. You need to refuel or you will run out of gas. Also, building up your inner muscles makes you stronger, not weaker. Positive experiences activate negative ones. This is counterintuitive, but it's actually common. For example, feeling cared about could steer a feeling of not being loved by the right person. If something like this happens for you, know that whatever is negative does not change the truth of what is positive, and then refocus on the positive experience, particularly its enjoyable aspects, which will help keep your attention in it. There are payoffs in not feeling good. Sometimes, let's face it, there can be a certain gratification in being outraged, aggrieved, hurt, resentful, righteously, indignant, or even blue. But at the end of the day, what is better for you? These payoffs are actually feeling good. You have been punished for being energized or happy. You really recognize that you spend time with different people today than those in your childhood. Notice the people who are fine with you feeling good. Wouldn't you have liked it so if someone had stood up for you when you were young and lively and joyful? Well, you can be that person for yourself today. Believe that there is nothing good inside you. The good that others see in you is not a delusion of theirs. It is real as your hands. Now hold on to the knowing of the reality of your helpful action, good intentions, and caring feelings. If people put you down or ashamed you in the past, recognizing the realness of your goodness is a way to be fair and kind toward yourself today. For more, see the section on recognizing the good in yourself in chapter 6 and the practice feeling like you're a good person on this page. Believe that there is no point in feeling good since some things are still bad. No, that the bad things that exist do not remove the good ones. The whole does not get rid of the donut. Plus, one way to deal with the bad is to grow the good. I love this proverb. Better to light a single candle than to curse the darkness. Dealing with challenges in a responsive way. Life has many challenges, from aggravating relatives to serious illness. One way to think about this is in terms of your core needs for safety, satisfaction, and connection. To handle a problem in a responsive rather than a reactive way, try to call upon the inner strength and related experiences that can best take care of the core and need that is being challenged. Suppose that you are dealing with a person who is being aggressive or threatening toward you, even in subtle ways. This would be someone who is activating the avoiding harm system in your brain, someone around whom you don't feel completely safe. A reactive approach to this person would involve feelings of anxiety, from unease to stark fear, anger, from exasperation to outrage or numbing, and involve actions such as fighting, quarreling, fleeing, withdrawal, or freezing, getting immobilized. as understandable and common as going rate is. It also has cost for you and others. Alternatively, imagine a responsive approach to this person. You could start by getting on your own side, having compassion for yourself, and buying yourself time to understand what is going on and to form a plan to handle it. Then you could draw inner strengths and related experiences in the avoiding harms system. Remind yourself of protection and the resources in your life and call up the previous experiences of feeling strong and determined. Alternatively, imagine a responsive approach to this person. You could start by getting on your own side, having compassion for yourself, and buying yourself time to understand what is going on and to plan to handle it. Then you could draw on inner strengths and related experiences in the avoiding harm system. Remind yourself of protection and resource in your life and call up previous experiences of feeling strong and determined. Double check your assumptions and thinking and make sure you are not under or overestimating the threat. Put the threat, whatever it is, in perspective. Exhale and do the relaxing things to feel less tense and to feel cooler, calmer, and more collected. Build up your resources. Such as the support of other people. Try to have a sense of allies who are with you when you do take action. Be appropriately cautious, but not cowed or intimidated. Be considered, serious, and sustained rather than impulsive, self-deprecating, or quick to give up. Imagine the likely result of going green. Now, while this approach is no guarantee of a good outcome, it's usually your best art strategy for one. You can take a similar approach with conditions that challenge your needs, satisfactions, or connection. Now, take a look at the table, matching some antidote experience to negative material in the previous chapter this page, and see what key experiences and inner strengths could help you step responsive with any difficult conditions in your life these days. As you activate and draw on these experiences and strengths, you will have an opportunity to take them in again and again, installing them in your brain even ever more deeply. Besides drawing on the key experiences that are matched to difficult conditions in the thick of the moment, you can also imagine yourself coping in a responsive way in the future. This is called mental rehearsed, which has been shown to improve performance on various tasks. Try the practice below, adapting it as you like. It includes inner strength for all three of your core needs, and you can focus on the ones that will be most useful for a particular challenge. The next chapter offer guided practices that explore many of these inner strengths in detail. Here we go. Settle into yourself, taking a few breaths, getting centered. Pick a challenge and observe it as if from a bird's eye view. Consider some of the reaction it has stirred up in you and how you would like to approach it in the future. To begin with, call up a sense of being on your own side, of caring for yourself, of having compassion for whatever is hard or painful for you. Find a sense of strength and determination. Let it sink in that you are basically all right now regarding the challenge. Be aware of ways you are protected and supported. Exhale slowly and relax some. Imagine dealing with the challenge while staying in control of yourself, being reasonably calm even if you need to be firm, and not getting tangled up with other, not going to war with anyone or anything, exhaling and relaxing some more, seeing if you find some sense of peace related to the challenge. Call up a sense of gratitude and gladness for the larger whole of your life. Be aware of the many things still going fine in spite of the challenge. Feel fed by the fullness of this moment. Focus on what is within your power to influence regarding this challenge. Begin to make plans for what is possible for you to do Notice some of the many other ways in your life you can feel accomplished and successful. Imagine how you could approach this challenge from a place of feeling already content and fulfilled. Imagine being grounded in a sense of being cared about by others as you engage in this challenge. You feel encouraged by them, you receive compassion and sympathy and support from them. You try to get a sense of love from them flowing to you into you, filling your heart. Also imagine caring and friendliness and love flowing out from you. See if you can feel lifted and carried by warm-heartedness, so that you are dealing with difficulties from a place of compassion for yourself and other. You wish yourself and other well even as you strongly stand up for yourself. Imagine how you could deal with the challenge if you had a strong internal self being loved and loving. Imagine feeling an overall sense of peace, contentment and love as you deal with this challenge. Hold any negative experiences in a large untroubled space of awareness. Imagine some of the good results of staying fundamentally peaceful, contented and loving with regard to this challenge. Let the knowing and appreciating of this good result motivate you to bring a responsive approach to this challenge in the days ahead. Taking it in informal and in informal settings, when you get a good lesson, use the heal steps to help it really. Taking in the good could substantially improve a person's gain from human resource training, psychotherapy, mindfulness training, coaching, or or the psychological aspect of healthcare treatment. Take in rewarding experiences related to the behaviors you want to encourage in yourself. For problematic desires such as addiction, you could help yourself increasingly to choose a greater happiness over a lesser one. When you look for key experiences, be resourceful and kind to yourself. Even if you can't have the whole pie, you long for, take in as much as you can. Oh man, I'm really sorry for that. Excuse me. Excuse me. I don't know. Like, hmm, I saw, I see people saying excuse when they sneeze or do something. So, excuse me. I don't understand. I just felt to say this because I'm getting something. So, just because of that. Take in rewarding experiences related to the behaviors you want to encourage in yourself. Now, for problematic desires such as addiction, you could help yourself increasingly choose a greater happiness over a lesser one. Lesser one. When you look for key experiences, be resourceful and kind to yourself. Even if you can't have the whole pie you long for, take is as much as you can. It's normal to be affected by the past due to painful events or shortfalls of important psychological supplies. You can use key experiences to fill this hole in your heart. If you are addressing depressed mood or trauma, you can intensify the benefits of standard intervention through taking in the good. In relationship, appreciating and internalizing what is actually good in them will usually make each person feel better and strengthen the bond between them. In both formal and informal ways, you can use the heal steps to help others, including children. It's common for blocks to arise related to taking in the good. These blocks are a chance to learn more about yourself. You can also handle them in effective ways when you are faced with the challenge. Experiences of key strengths will help you meet it in a responsive way. As you experience these strengths again and again, you will be able to stay in the green zone with increasingly intense challenge. Jewels 21 Jewels. Now, this chapter is a collection of practices for growing key strengths inside yourself. I think of these as 21 jewels for the treasure Taste of the heart, they include a sense of protection, relaxation, pleasure, enthusiasm, self-compassion, and feeling like a good person. And of course, the hallmarks of the responsive brain, peace, contentment, and love. These are the foundational inner strengths that I have seen change my own life and the lives of others. Look for opportunities to experience these strengths in everyday life. Plus, use the guided practices below to view them into your brain whenever you want. How to use this chapter. The key strengths are organized in terms of your three core needs for safety, satisfaction, and connection, with 7 strengths for each one. Each practice begins with an introduction and then guides you through the 4 heal steps of taking in the good. Because you already know these steps, my suggestion will be brief and direct, since each practice stands on its own. There will be some unavoidable repetition of suggestions. Feel free to adapt these to your own needs. For instance, you may find that the way I talk about observing one strength can be applied to observing a different one. 2. Remember the 4th step in these practices in optional. If you are going to include this step before beginning one of the guided practice, see if you can identify a neutral trigger that's become associated with the negative material. But often there is no clear neutral trigger. If you can't think of one, it's alright, and you can still do the other parts of the 4th step. A single issue or want. If you are grappling with a particular situation, relationship, or state of mind, such as a draining but necessary or at work, or a teenager with attitude, or a blue mood, when you could find the strengths that would give you specific help you need and just focus on that one or for a while. For instance, the strength of refuge, this page, would help with feeling drained and compassionate. Assertiveness with a difficult relationship, and gratitude and gladness with the blues, or strengths that are well matched to specific challenges. See the table, matching some antidote experience to negative material. Chapter 8, focusing on one core need. Or perhaps you would like to develop all 7 strengths related to one of your core needs. If anxiety or anger are concerned, take in the strengths in a section titled Safety on this page. Issues of disappointment, frustration, loss, drivenness, or addiction would be served by having more of the strength in the satisfaction section that follows. And for loneliness, hurt, shame, envy, low self-worth, or ill, will go to the final section, connection. If you like, focus on the new strength each day of the week and see how you feel at its end. Or you can simply keep all 7 strengths in mind and draw on whichever one would help you the most in particular situation. You can also use the hardwiring your happiness checklist in the previous chapter to track the strengths you cultivated each day. The top 10. All of the strengths listed in this chapter are valuable, but if I had to pick just 10, they would be refuge, feeling right now, and peace for safety, enthusiasm, feeling the fullness of this moment, and contentment for satisfaction, feeling cared about, feeling like a good person, and love for connection, and an integrated sense of peace, contentment, and love merging together. See the practice at the end of chapter 7. And you are welcome to create your own top 10. You can try a different strength daily over 10 days, or you can focus on 2 or 3 strengths each day. If you want deep dive over 3 days, you can practice the 3 strengths for safety on day 1st, the 3 for satisfaction on day 2, and the 3 of for connection on day 3. And also in the morning and in the evening of each of these days, do the 1 minute for good practice in the box of this page. 21 days of good. If you want to really go for it, how about taking just 3 weeks to really boost your mind, your brain, and your life? Pick a new strength each day and feel it growing inside you. You could explore the 21 strength in the sequence here, or you could engage them in 3 days cycle, alternating among the needs, safety, satisfaction, and connection, with one rest on each of 3 consecutive days. For Fun, you could take a popcorn approach and pick one strength at random each day, gradually crossing them off until there is only one life. If you like, you could replace one or more the strengths below with a different one, such as curiosity or generosity. To enrich this process, you can journal about it, do it with a friend or in your family, or weave it into your therapy, sobriety process, or spiritual practice. Think of this as a kind of retreat, or if that seems too Spartan, as a vacation in a luxurious spa in which you are bathing in luscious healing experience rather than sulfurous mud. At the end of the 3 weeks, honor your sincere effort and celebrate the results. By setting aside 21 days in a row to enjoy and deepen these strengths, you can make sure that your core needs for safety, satisfaction, and connections are being more cared for, and you will rest with increasing stability in the gain responsive setting of your brain. Along the way, you will be a good friend to yourself, building up movement and making a habit of hardwiring happiness. 1 minute for good. If these options seem too complicated, no problem. Just take a minute to do what I often do on a first waking, just before bed, at the start of meditation, or before heading into a challenging situation. For a breathe or a three, for a breathe or a three. Be aware of what is generally happening in your mind and body without trying to change it. Find an intimacy with yourself. Start relaxing, letting your breath soften and slow. Disengage from any worried thinking. Let go of any tension. Touch on a sense of strength and recognize protections such as friends nearby. Notice that you are all right now. Rest in a growing peace. Bring to mind one or more things you are grateful for, glad about. Think of something that makes you feel happy. Sense the fullness already present in this moment. Rest in a growing contentment. Bring to mind one or more people or a pet who care about you. Let yourself feel appreciated, liked, or loved. Be aware of your own warmth and caring for others. Rest in a growing love. Then get a sense of peace, contentment, and love woven together in your mind. Three aspects of a single whole experience of ease and homecoming. Rest in the responsive mind. If you like, imagine moving through your day in this responsive way, finishing up with another breathe or two while you sense that peace, contentment, and love are sinking into you. When you experience safety, you are avoiding harm. The system goes green into its responsive mode. You can build up both your capacity to be safe and your sense of feeling safe by regularly taking in protection, strength, relaxation, refuge, seeing threats and resources clearly. Be feeling alright right now and peace. Key experiences in the attaching system can also help you feel safe, and we will explore these in connection. This will help you feel increasingly at ease in life, with less and less need to struggle with or push away unpleasant experiences. The avoiding system is rooted in ancient circuits in your brain stem and subcortex that are fast, good for survival, but rigid, not good for quality of life or for healing old pains. Unfortunately, these circuits are slow learners since the brain stem and subcortex generally have less neuroplasticity than the cortex does. In effect, these older parts of your brain need a lot of soothing to be peace. So try to use a lot of occasion to take in the key experiences below. Besides their general benefits, the practices in this section should strengthen your stress tolerance, the capacity to stay open and centered and grounded in the responsive mode while having uncomfortable experiences. Distress tolerance is like a shock absorber, helping you manage the unpleasant bumps of life without getting aversive and thus reactive toward them. They will be still hurt, and they are surely not your preference, but you don't get upset about them or make bad things worse with overreaction. This is why many studies have shown that distress tolerance is a fundamental source of resilience, happiness, and achievement. Protection. Protection decreases a person's sense of alarm. When you feel protected, there is less need for bracing, guarding, or anxiety. It's like watching a storms from inside a sturdy shelter. There could still be threats or problems outside, but they are not penetrating to harm you. Notice H. Notice any feeling of protection already present in the foreground or background of awareness. Perhaps a sense of strong walls around you, doors that are closed and blocked, and other people nearby. Also, you can create a feeling of protection by thinking about resources inside you and in your life that could shield you, such as capabilities, virtues, credentials, friends, and family. You could also imagine protectors for yourself, such as people who care about you, even a whole group of protectors. Groups, perhaps imagine a force field that nothing can penetrate to hurt you. E. Open to the sense of protection. Explore what this experience is like. Let it fill your body and mind and become more intense. Stay with it. Help it. Last, open to relief or ease inside as you feel protected. You could add to this experience by embodying it. For example, look at picture of people that you know care about you, or run your finger over the lock on a door, or lean against a wall while feeling its solidity. A sense and intent that this experience of protection is sinking into you as you sink into it. Know that it is becoming part of you, a resource you can take with you wherever you go. As protection sinks in, feel a lessening of any need for resisting or bracing against anything inside you or out in the world. Any sense of alarm or threat is falling away. With protection shifting into you, you can let go of guarding vigilance and anxiety. Be aware of both the sense of protection and feelings of fear and vulnerability. Keep the positive experience of or protection more prominent in awareness, and if you get hijacked by the negative material, drop it. In a sense that feeling protected is soothing you and going into scared or vulnerable places inside. Whereas there is an image of a nurturing protector successfully shielding fragile or young parts of you from danger. The feeling of protection is sinking into scared parts of you, reassuring them, helping these parts feel better. Then, when you want to let go of any negative material and just stay with this sense of protection a few times over the next hour, for a dozen or more seconds at a time, be aware of only neutral or positive material, such as a sense of protection, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger. Example: people, situation, ideas of feeling anxious or vulnerable. Strengths. Fear comes from the pursuit gap between internal strengths and external challenges. As your sense of genuine strength grows, this gap will shrink even though nothing. Strength does not mean getting buffed up or aggressive. Determination, tenacity, bending but not breaking, integrity are forms of strength. So are enduring hard times and surviving terrible ones. Notice any sense of strength already present in the foreground or background of awareness, such as an ongoing aliveness in the body, the heart sturdily beating, or steadfast caring for others. Awareness itself is strong, able to hold every bit of your experience. Also create a feeling of strength in recent event or in your past. Now look for times when you were strong. Perhaps you called on your body to keep standing during a long day at work, or to continue running during a workout. Perhaps you stuck up for yourself or for someone else. Maybe you got something done even though you wanted to quit. Let the ideas of these times become a felt sense of strength. Open to the sense of strength. Explore what this experience is like. Let it fill your body and mind and become more intense. Stay with it, help it last, make a sanctuary for it in your mind. Return to these experiences if your attention wanders. Become calmer and more confident as you feel stronger. Know that you can deal with what life brings. Find things that are fresh about the experience of strength. See what it's like to feel strong without any anger. Recall a time you were firm, grave, or assertive without getting aggressive or irritated. You can embody strength in various ways. Perhaps test different not muscles to feel their power, or straighten up, or put a determined expression on your face and see what it looks like in a mirror. Be aware of how strength is important to you personally, why it matters, recognize its relevance to you. Intent that this experience of strength is sinking into you as you sink into it. In a sense, strength coming into you like fuel, like invigorating energy. Let yourself be changed a bit, let yourself become stronger. Know that strength is sinking in, weaving itself into you, becoming a resource inside that you can take with you wherever you go, both potent and portable. As strength sinks in, you feel a releasing any struggle with anything inside you or out in the world. There is no need to resist anyone or anything. Be aware of both the senses, strength and feeling of weakness. Keep the positive experience of strength more prominent in awareness, and if you get hijacked by the negativity, drop it. And strength is supporting, soaking into places inside that have felt pushed around or overwhelmed. Perhaps when you were a child, now you are feeling strong, like a deeply rooted mighty tree. The winds of life and other people are blowing by, and you are still standing tall after they pass. When you want, let go of any negative material and just stay with the sense of strength. A few times over the next hour, for a dozen or more seconds at a time. Now be aware of only neutral or positive material, such as a sense of strength, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger of feeling weak or overwhelmed. Relaxation. As you relax, your parasympathetic nervous system gets more active, which calms down the fight or flight sympathetic nervous system. Your tension drains out of your body, your heart rate and breathing slow down, and digestion is all of which turns down the dial on internal signal of threat, helping you relax even further. Notice any sense of relaxation already present in your awareness. For example, in your breathing or in parts of your body that are still. There could be some ease and letting go. Also, you can create a feeling of relaxation. Take several breaths in. Relax key points such as the key jaw muscles, tongue, mouth, and eyes. Breathe into your diaphragm. Just breathe your rib cage. Sense the tension draining out of your body. Imagine being in relaxing setting such as on the beach under a warm sun. You can also progressively relax parts of your body, moving from your feet to your head. Open to relaxation, and feel what it's like. Let it fill you, becoming more intense. Stay with it, help it last. Let go more and more as you relax. Give yourself over to a delicious sense of calm. Notice different aspects of this experience. Keep it fresh for you. Feel a growing tranquility. Embody relaxation by lying down, rocking gently back and forth, nor letting your face go completely slack. Think of one way that being more relaxed at home or work could help you. A sense that relaxation is sinking into you, becoming a part of you. As you become more relaxed, you can feel any tension or resistance falling away. Be aware of both relaxation and tension. Keep relaxation more prominent in awareness. If you get hijacked by the negative material, drop it. Relaxation is sinking into and easing place inside you that have been tight or contracted. Tension is easing as relaxation settles down into it like a gentle rain. When you want, let go of any negative material and just stay with the sense of relaxation. A few times over the next hour, be aware of only neutral or positive material, such as a sense of relaxation, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger of feeling tense. Refuge. A refuge is anything that gives you a sense of sanctuary, refueling, uplifting, or sacredness. You can rest and recharge in a refuge even as pain or difficulty swirls around you. Edge. Notice any sense of refuge that's already present in your mind. Perhaps you are at home in bed, or in the bathtub, or cuddling with your mate, or you are standing under trees and stars, or at peace in meditation or prayer. You can also create a feeling of refuge by remembering being in a place you love, such as a cabin on a lake that your family stayed in each summer. Other potential refuge include teachers, teaching and communities of thought. You could find refuge in simply plugging away, in being scrappy and not giving up, or in your capacity to see what's true, to tell the difference between the donut and the hole, or between people who treat you well and those who don't. You could take refuge in reason, in the process of figuring things out, or in spirituality or religion, or in whatever you experience as good. Explore the qualities of particular refuges, such as a place or a person, then open to a general sense of refuge. What's it like to feel that you are in safe haven, that you are grounded in things that are trustworthy and nurturing. Let this experience fill you, becoming more intense. Stay with it, help it last. You could embody or enact the sense of refuge by going to personal sanctuaries, ranging from a familiar cozy chair in your living room to a church or a temple, or you could bring something personally meaningful or sacred into your bedroom. A sense that the experience of refuge is becoming a part of you. Explore the feeling of refuge as being something you come from rather than being something you go to. As you feel more and more settled in refuge, release refugee release any struggle with anything. Be aware of both the experiences of refugee and any sense of being pushed or drained. Stay centered in refuge as these challenges pass by. While you remain sheltered and nurtured, let the knowing sink in that difficulties and pains can come and go without overwhelming you. Perhaps sense that feelings of refuge are connecting with young feeling of being invaded of unsafe. When you want, let go of any negative material and just stay with the sense of refuge. A few times over the next hour, be aware of only neutral or positive material, such as a sense of refuge, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger of feeling pushed or drained. Seeing threats and resources clearly. Due to paper tiger paranoia, chapter 2, your brain tends to overestimate the threats coming at you while underestimating your resource for dealing with them. And when you see through these distortions, you can take in new, more accurate, and more reassuring and useful perspectives. Edge, notice it when you realize that worry was overblown, or that you overlooked available resources. Notice when others could be building up your fears, perhaps for their own advantage. Also, deliberately consider your beliefs about danger in the world and a weakness in yourself, and look for the evidence that these are not true. Perhaps talk about these beliefs and the evidence for and against them with others, or just evaluate them inside your own mind. For example, you could list three or more reasons why a fearful or self-doubting belief is not true. Open to a more realistic view of threats in your life and your resource for handling them. Let this view, this perspective, expand in your mind and keep coming back to it. Open to related feelings of settling down, confidence, or calm. You could embody this experience by saying out loud or writing down your realistic viewpoint about threats and resources. A sense of that this realistic view is becoming a part of you. Let the conviction from form that it is true. Get a sense of coming from this perspective from now on, and how this would feel as you see threads and resources clearly without distortion. Feelings of unease and anxiety fall away as you know in your heart and that you can deal with things. There is no need for fear. Aware of your realistic view as well as any inaccurate beliefs that overestimate threats or underestimate resources. Keep regenerating your sense of conviction in the realistic view and you knowing that the inaccurate beliefs are wrong. Perhaps imagine a strong, smart person inside who represent the realistic view and is giving with another person inside. Maybe exaggerated and silly who represent the inaccurate beliefs and beg sure that the realistic view wins. When you want let go of any negative material and just with the realistic view. A few times over the next hour, be aware of only neutral or positive material, such as a sense of conviction in the realistic view, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger of the inaccurate beliefs. Feeling all right now. Most of the inputs into your brain come from inside your body rather than from your external environment. This is because your brain needs to know moment by moment how your internal organs are doing to make sure you are okay. Much of these formation flows through the hypothalamus, and if there is the least sign of anything wrong, it sounds an alarm and that triggers the reactive and setting of your brain. Even small shifts in your sense of breathing, heart rate, digestion, or facial expression can produce large changes in your thoughts and feelings. This tight linkage between mind and body gives you a powerful way to rest in a growing sense of calm and ease. Since most of the time your body is pretty much doing fine, its message up to your brain are usually like the reassuring calls of a night watchman. All is well, all is well. You may not have been all right in the past and you may not be all right in the future. But you are basically all right now. Unfortunately, this good news is often hard to hear due to the negativity bias, which produces an ongoing background murmuring of anxiety to keep us always a little nervous and vigilant in order to survive. Most of the time, these messages of fear are false alarms. Now, when you take advantage of the all is well signal coming up into your brain from your body by deliberately focusing on the fact that you are actually all right, almost every single moment of your life offers a wonderful opportunity to step out of fear and anger and into peace. And over time, these practice and related ones, such as taking in relaxation and quit the murmuring of needless anxiety. Tune into signals from your body that all is well. Notice that there is plenty of air, that breathing is going just fine. Feel your muscles at your neck and know that your heart is beating. Okay. Sense your body in its entirely and recognize its fundamental vitality. Even if there are also aches and pains and illness, focus on parts of your body that are doing all right, even if other parts aren't. Scan your immediate environment and know that in this stunt you are not being attacked, that you are not about to die. Observe that awareness itself is fine and never hurt by what it hurts. Know that you can witness discomfort without being overwhelmed by it again and again. Still that you are all right in this moment, open to feeling that you are all right now. You keep renewing this feeling moment after moment in spite of any anxiety. Also open to related feelings of ease, relief, calm, and relaxation. You give your mind over to feeling all right, entirely all right. Now notice the constant background sense of the body and that it keeps going on being with a trustworthy continuity. No, what it's like to feel all right. You could embody this experience by exhaling with a kind of view safe at last. Do little things to feel more comfortable, such as putting on a shawl if you are chilled, and late in the resulting wave of feeling okay. Sense that feeling alright is becoming a part of you. Being a fundamental being fundamentally okay in your care. There is no need to push anything away. No basis for fear. Any struggle with life, any resisting or craving falls away. Be aware of the experience of being alright alongside any upset or anxiety. Help the sense of being okay in your core seep into upset or anxiety something, and easing it and putting it in perspective. Know that you will still be all right, even if you have got to deal with hard things. When you want let go of any negative material and stay with the sense of being right now. A few times over the next hour, be aware of only neutral or positive material, such as feeling alright right now, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger of feeling upset or anxious. Peace. Peace is a global sense of serenity and sense, with no need to struggle with anything. You may be aware of danger or challenges, but no fleeing or frightened is present in your mind. No fear or danger, anger, feeling at peace inside. You are peaceful with others. Notice any sense of peace already present in your body or mind. Awareness itself is peaceful, as is the rhythm of breathing, the effortless appearance of sights, and the reassuring stability of a chair or table. Also create a peaceful by bringing to mind anything that helps you feel calm, undisturbed, or tranquil. Perhaps an image of a body sleeping, the sound of waves on a warm beach, the felt remembrance of time you were completely at peace, or a sense of the untroubled vastness of the universe. You could also activate a sense of peace by drawing on one or more of the key experiences of Boo, such as relaxation or feeling all right now. Once you find a sense of peace, open to it, give over to it, and let it fill your heart. Help the feeling of peace be as strong and lasting as possible. Explore the nuances of related feelings, such as calm, tranquility, ease, and serenity. Be wholly at peace. If you like, meditate on peace. Let it be your object of attention and absorption. Embody peace in how you walk, gaze at others, reach for objects, and speak. A sense that peace is sinking into you as you sink into it, becoming a part of you. Feel yourself peacefully breathing peace, being peace. There is no basis for any kind of resistance toward anything inside you or out in the world. Be mindful of peace in the foreground of awareness, as well as any kind of unease in the background. Sense peace radiating outward in waves, connecting with and soothing and quieting whatever is unsettled. Peace is sinking into young parts of you that felt frightened or angry. Then, when you want, let go of any negative material and just stay with peace. Now, a few times over the next hour, be aware of only neutral or positive material, such as a sense of peace, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger of feeling uneasy. Satisfaction. When you experience satisfaction, your approaching reward system enters its responsive setting. You can build up both your capacity to be satisfied and your sense of feeling satisfied by regularly taking in pleasure, gratitude, and gladness, positive emotion, accomplishment, and agency, enthusiasm, the fullness of this movement and contentment. If you do this regularly, both in everyday life and in the guided practice below, you will feel increasingly thankful, fulfilled, and successful instead of disappointed, sad, frustrated, or driven. You will feel already full with no reason to chase after or grab on to pleasant experience. Pleasure. Enjoying the taste of toasted raisin bread or the humor in a cartoon may not seem like much, but simple pleasure like these ease emotional upset, lift your mood, and enrich your life. They also provide health benefits by releasing endorphins and natural opioids that shifts you out of stressful, draining reactive states and into happier responsive ones. As a bonus, some pleasures such as dancing, sex, your team winning a game of pickup basketball, or laughing with friends come with energizing feeling of vitality or passion that enhance long-term heal. Opportunities for pleasure are all around you, especially if you include things like the window glitter of the tiny grains of sand inside walk, the sound of water falling into a tub, the sense of connection in talking with a friend, or the reassurance that comes from the stove working when you need to make dinner. Your brain tries to hold on to the things not to things that are pleasant, but this actually feels stressful since experiences are inherently fleeting and insubstantial. In this practice, you get the best of both worlds. You enjoy pleasures without holding on to them, which actually heightens the pleasure. Plus, you will be learning how to let pleasure experience flow through your mind and without any reactive grasping after them. Notice any sense of pleasure. Sense of pleasure that's already present. Scan the sense of sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell for pleasure in the background or foreground of awareness. In your mind, see if there is anything funny, interesting, or aesthetically pleasing. Also create pleasure by being nice to your body. Now, booking for beauty, joking around, using your hand in a craft, taking beautiful photographs, or doing a favorite activity. Spend a minute or a day looking for things that give you pleasure. Now, explore your favorite pleasure in depth, slowing down and really focusing on the experience. Now, open to a pleasure and help it last. Keep returning attention to it and release any thought that you are not allowed to feel this pleasure. Release it much as you might take half a minute to let a bite of chocolate truffle slowly melt in your mouth. Receive the pleasure fully and let it flow through you without trying to hang on it. Embody this experience by moving toward or into the source of pleasure, or by murmuring in pleasure, reflecting briefly on how pleasure is relevant to you, how it is important in your life, sense and intent that pleasure is sinking into you as you sink into it. Like water seeping into soil, pleasure is becoming part of you. Pleasure, a resource you can take with you wherever you go. Feel how pleasure is settling into you without trying to hold on it. Let yourself feel that in this moment there is enough and no need for wanting more. Be aware of pleasure and any pain and keep the positive experience of pleasure more prominent in awareness. Says that this feeling of pleasure or soothing and going into any points inside. When you won't let go of any negative material and just stay with the sense of pleasure a few times over the next hours, a dozen or more seconds at a time. Be aware of only neutral, positive material such as a sense of pleasure, while also bringing to mind a neutral trigger, people, situation, ideas of feeling pain. Gratitude and gladness. Gratitude is a feeling of thankfulness about something you have been given. Gladness is a more general sense of feeling pleased, rewarded, delighted, or happy about something without it necessarily being a gift. Now, much of the time, these two sweet feeling form a blend. So we will explore them together here. Gratitude, gladness, and related feeling like appreciation may seem so hummy and hallmark card dish that they are easy to dismiss. But studies in fact show that cultivating them is lasting and important benefits, including lifting your mood, increasing satisfaction with life, and building resilience. So right now, let me tell you what is happening with me today. I want to quickly finish this live streaming, but I was not able to because time is not going to go very fast, or we can't change anything about it. The way it is going, the way it will go. Like it's like it's time will go in its own way. We can't control, or we can't do anything about it. It's to completely depends on our feelings in the sense, let's say if I'm feeling or if I'm immersed into reading, then I will not realize it. But if I really want to quit it very quickly, then I will think that time should run fast. It should run fast, very fast, so that I can finish it and I can go. But the one thing I noticed, when I try to focus, when I try to concentrate, let's say if I'm reading this paragraph, gratitude and gladness, at the time what's happening? If I'm trying to understand each and everything what is being said in this para, then it happens like time goes very fast, because my brain is completely into it, and it just read it, it just try to understand it. It is not aware of its time, it is just focusing on this. Then at the time I don't realize the time. But when I'm reading, gratitude is a feeling of thankfulness about something you have been given, and at the same time I'm thinking that I should complete it very fast. Then it feels like, oh man, this when this time will go, when this live stream will finish. So what I understand from these, that I don't have to focus on time, I have to focus on my reading, and eventually time will run fast. I don't have to worry about it if I am immersed into it, because when I am immersed into it, then I will not realize about time, and time will go on its own. But the thing is that I will be immersed into it, and in that particular time will run, and I will realize like, oh man, how fast time went, because we are into it. Time is going its own. We just realize after a certain period of time that yeah, it has been 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 20 minutes, whatever the minutes you have been immersed or indulged. And after that you realized that yes, it was very too fast, but it was not too very fast, too slow. It was just your feelings, your concentration, you being indulged into something. At the time you feel that time went fast. But when you are not indulged into something, you just want to quit it very quickly. Like let's say if you are doing something for 20 minutes, for that 20 minutes if you are being indulged, then you feel like yes, that 20 minutes went very quickly. But you are doing something very boring, at the time 20 minutes feels very bad, not very bad, very long, because you are just seeing time that 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. Then time is going like this, and you are just waiting. Oh man! Immediately you want to make this happen. You immediately want to complete your 20 minutes within that 1 minute. That is why you feel very uneasy, uncomfortable, feeling like it should be very completed. Right now also I'm just trying to communicate, but my focus is completely toward my time itself, because I want to finish it. But this is how, I don't know, how can I take it out, this feeling, not to see it toward time, just indulge into the things, so that I shouldn't feel uncomfortable. Right now I'm feeling uncomfortable, because literally I'm just seeing time, when it will be completed. Once it is completed, I'll end my live streaming. When it is completed, I will end my streaming. But it is not happening, because my concentration is completely toward time, 58 minutes 47 second, it is going like that. So just because of which it is making me very uncomfortable. So what I'm trying, I tried while reading as well, I just have to understand whatever being said in these. I just try to imagine, I just try to feel it. And when I try to do it, when I try to concentrate on these, now after that I feel that time is going very fast. So this is how it works. I don't know exactly how it works, but for me it is working like this. So that's all about for today. as I really wanted to end this live streaming. I don't know why, but that's all for today. And it was really awesome day. We have completed our 16th day challenge as well, and yeah, it's very awesome. Even I don't feel to do, I am doing it. Like, no, like, I'm really concentrating on my communication now. Like what I am saying, that I'm just concentrating, focusing on the things. Like, like if I said like, then I realize, oh, I said like. What else I can say besides that, or except that? But anyway, that's all for today. And if you're watching it, then thank you very much. Let's grow together. Let's learn together. Let's read together. And let's, one more thing, let's being uncomfortable together, because whenever you are feeling uncomfortable, that means you are growing.